The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here once again on the Low Fact Podcast.
Sup?
Yeah, that was Matt. I'm Dave. And,
We're socially distancing, we're doing it from two different places.
not. We're doing it from 6 feet, 5 feet, no, 3 feet. Yeah, about 4 feet.
Oh, we didn't talk about socially distancing. That was another one you said that
Yeah,
you didn't like.
I don't like that. There's a lot of terms that I don't like because they really seem rather inane and stupid.
So how do you think they come up with it? Do you think they do like a straw poll and have like a bunch of idiots in a room and then everyone's like, oh yeah, that sounds good?
I think they pull out a word from one hat and they pull out a word from another hat and they put them together and say, oh, that sounds pretty good. Well, I guess they don't do that. Nowadays they have computers. So what they have is they have a random word generator. And they just like, ting, ting. Socially distanced. I like it. Yeah, let's go with that.
I could almost believe that explanation just from watching the way this thing has played out and the kind of people that we have who are supposedly in charge.
Well, I'd like to say that from watching some of the stuff that comes on the screens that it's proof positive of the decline of the American educational system. But when I watch archival footage of stuff like in World War II or stuff in World War II, then I sit there and go, nah. And so then I go back further in time and look for transcripts of speeches. And those are just like, okay, well, those are better. But
How much further?
Before they had any kind of broadcast capability.
Okay.
So, like the Civil War, right? Whenever someone made a speech, the speech was given to the newspapers beforehand, very much like the speeches nowadays. Except for the Gettysburg Address, I guess.
Wait, they still give speeches to the newspapers?
I think they used to give speeches to the newspapers so the newspapers could come out with, oh, this is what the president, or this is what so-and-so said the other day. But we're kind of digressing. So socially distanced. I keep on doing that Gavin Newsom thing again.
It's probably because it's just been a few weeks.
Well, I watched him the one time and it really annoyed me. And now I'm doing it because I guess I want to annoy myself.
He gets voted for, right? Like he got voted in.
This guy did.
By us.
Well,
by Californians.
Yes. By Californians.
So everybody deserves everything that they might get.
Supposedly by Californians who were citizens and registered to vote, but, depending on who you talk to, right?
Yeah, it very much depends on who you talk to. That's what's so funny about it. Well, not funny, like peculiar.
Well, okay, funny queer. But, so I think undoubtedly both sides probably do some little bit of, monkeying around with stuff.
That's why it's funny when you watch a network like, say, Fox, and they just talk about how corrupt and how the Democrats are stealing this and stealing that and doing this and doing that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wait, so no Republican's ever done anything dodgy in a election? Well, they don't have the same tricks.
They probably do, but historically, the tricks, the stuff that you learn about is in machine politics from like the late 1800s, early 20th century, when
machine politics.
Yeah. City politics, when local politics was really important, I'm
just start calling you Dalek.
The Dems used to, especially in New York, like with Tammany Hall, they were run by these political machines. And most of them were actually people that owned bars. So they would have all these people that, could vote. And these folks would sit there and decide who was going to be alderman of what district, who was going to be mayor, who was going to be what. And that's that's part of the reason.
What is Tammany Hall?
Huh?
What is Tammany?
I think it was an area of New York. It was like a little neighborhood or something.
Okay.
I'm going back into my American civics and American history things, but
No, because I've seen that Tammany thing before, and I was like, what the heck is that?
well, Tammany Hall used to be a notoriously corrupt
Little
enclave.
districts.
Well, they were all corrupt is the thing. And in Chicago, right? In Chicago, it's supposed to be really dirty politics where, people vote early and vote often.
Uh-huh.
Dead people vote. It was
Well,
just,
the dead people vote thing I've heard of being used here in California.
well, I think that's just kind of like in the bag of tricks that people have been caught doing.
Social security number gets used for 7 different people.
And it just stuck, like the stereotypes of black people being lazy, of Asian people not being good drivers, of, whatever. But I think Asian people are incredibly good drivers. Have you seen how crazy a lot of those places are? Like, there would be some countries.
Like Bangkok.
There are some countries where there are, 6 lanes for traffic, but there are 12 lanes of cars.
Oh my gosh.
And you're just sitting there going, unbelievable. But anyway, what were we talking about?
We were just talking about social distancing.
Yeah, that's another term I don't like. The front lines thing we talked about, not because it's not literal, it's just because, it's the same with boots on the ground too. I think that's a stupid phrase.
And stay safe and stay home. I'm getting a little tired of hearing that. And the funny thing is I don't think people are staying home anymore.
Well, the funny thing is the people who are supposed to stay home are the plebs like you and me, while the our betters get to,
parties,
go or whatever they want, go get a haircut, do whatever it is they like to do because,
eat their ice cream.
Because they're our betters. But that's the thing about, to touch on something that we talk about so much. The reason why I dislike communism so much is because I'm not young, I'm not poor, and I'm not stupid. If you happen to be young, poor, or stupid, you kind of like the communist ideals because you're like, oh, everybody's in it together, everybody's going to share, no one's going to be better than anybody else. That's a crack a hooey.
And you kind of believe that stuff. Well, I was quite into it when I was younger too.
I believed it when I was in college as well, but then you start looking at the way things go, and then you find out that the whole point of a communist system is to make sure that a very, 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 very small cadre of people have everything, and everybody else has nothing. So,
Maybe we should talk about China.
The only reason why people want or like the commie stuff is because they want to be one of those people, if they're not young, poor, or stupid, is that they think they're going to be one of those people that get to pull the levers and play with everything. Because, let's face it, if you're in the Politburo or you're one of the people that run things in a communist country, you're one of the, it's even lower than 1%. It's like 0.001% maybe.
The ruling class?
Yes.
It's that small?
Yes. They have everything.
Is that the Han?
You're talking about a totally different. You're trying to take my example and say, okay, well, let me fit that into an actual thing that's going on. In that country, yes, it's a small minority of that ethnicity,
right.
Which I'm not going to talk about because, you know what? I don't know who's listening.
Right.
Well, let's face it, nobody's listening. But I'm not.
Well, according to our view tellers,
I'm pretty paranoid about stuff, but you know what? I'm probably never going to go there. And even if I did, I'm not that important. Nobody listens to me for anything.
This is true. Nobody listens to you.
I'm hoping people listen to us because it's kind of entertaining, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure that people will just kind of dismiss it. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, it's just it's too small of a number of people that get to play with everything, and I just I'm not of the ilk that thinks that anyone is better than anybody else, superior.
Well, you don't really fit in then.
I don't believe in racial superiority. I don't believe in breeding superiority. I just don't believe in superiority, period. There are people that are smarter than others, taller than others, stronger than others, crueler than others, dumber than others, but...
Wasn't that the dirty little unsecret?
Unsecret?
Yeah, is that the folks, the political folks, the elites, as you like to call them, who are supposedly what we're calling our leaders, they totally see themselves as better than everybody else. And now,
joke's on them. Most of the people that voted on them think that about themselves. So,
and right now, I feel like it's coming out. Everybody's seeing it and going, oh. But I don't know what people will do beyond saying, oh.
Mostly, probably nothing, because there's a whole lot of issues at play. But yeah, okay. So we've rambled on long enough.
Ramble on.